This is the Hiking Through Life podcast. We've all been gifted a journey called life. Let's see where the journey leads us today. Welcome to the Hiking Through Life podcast. I'm Andy.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we just wanted to take some time and catch you guys all up on where Hiking Through Life is going and how we've evolved as a podcast and just where we see our website and our whole vision for the future in the near term here.
Yeah, kind of like where our journey is taking us. We like inspiring others on their journey, so now it's time for us to share about our journey.
Yeah, so what we've been doing with the podcast recently is we've been reaching out to others in the outdoor space, mainly within Minnesota here, and just been interviewing interesting people that have interesting stories about how the outdoors has inspired them to do what they're doing pretty much.
Yeah, and I think the really amazing thing about this whole process is that these people we're reaching out to are really just everyday people that I've, mostly found on social media. But it's really been inspiring to kind of take the social media aspect to a new, like, face-to-face meet and greet level. And it's been really inspiring and empowering to make those connections with the outdoor community outside of social media.
Yeah, taking from, I guess, what you see on screen to seeing it in real life and just getting to know them as a person versus what, is out there on the social internet.
Yeah, because there's so much out there and everyone has a story to tell. And that's what we're finding with our podcast, that the stories we hear and the people we meet, everyone has something to say and some knowledge to share.
Yeah, and it's also kind of been interesting that, the last, few interviews that we've done, pretty much all of them have been naturalists within Minnesota and in some way, shape, or form have been educators in the outdoor industry, whether it's been through YouTube and social media like Eco Elsa, or someone like Liz from Prairie Smoke Threads, who's been involved with Outward Bound and has been an instructor there, or whether it is Devin, who's a science teacher but also been educating through his podcast, The Wildlife,
and also leading hikes with hike hoppers. So there's been a lot of naturalists that we've met, and it's kind of crazy. I guess I didn't realize that the world of naturalists they all hopped around so much. So that was kind of a enlightening thing for us to learn. But yeah, with that, we're just kind of gonna keep going with this process of the podcast, meeting people, finding inspiring people and their stories. So if you're out there and if you're listening, and if you have an inspiring story, which you do because everyone has a story to tell, we would love to have you on the podcast, because really we just want to spread the message of love and positivity and the outdoors to as many people as we can.
Yeah, and just hearing these unique stories of how people have gotten to where they are now and how the outdoors may have helped shape that in some form, or maybe it's led you to the outdoors and that's where you are now, but it wasn't the outdoors necessarily that did that. So I guess that's where we're going with this podcast is evolving into how are you hiking through life? How are you going down your own path and creating that, and where's your journey taking you? So those are the stories that we're looking to hear, all forms, all shapes. we want to get a good mix on this podcast. So if you do have a story to tell and you think it would be a good fit for this podcast, even if you don't think it'll be a good fit, just send us either an email or go to hikingthroughlife.net/podcast and fill out the form, and we'll be in contact with you. And you know we want to share and spread the various stories of everyone, because like we say on our site, life is a journey. It doesn't necessarily have to be a journey on a hiking trail, but everyone has their own journey.
So one of the things that I've been finding with our hiking through life process is I've been reaching out to a lot of people and pretty much through social media because it is so easy in this day and age to just use the computer screen as a means and a resource. So that's where I've been going, but it's been amazing actually. When I find someone that I'm inspired by, I have been reaching out to them. And it was a little intimidating at first. Like it's kind of like what a middle schooler feels like to like make a new friend or something, or asking someone on their very first date. It's a little intimidating. But what we've been finding is that a lot of people are totally excited to meet up with you. And honestly, it's really great to see people off screen and go back to those face to face interactions rather than getting off the screen. Because when you're off the screen and having a real connection with a person, it's a huge difference versus staring at a screen. You're seeing someone, you're laughing with someone, you're interacting. So it makes a big difference. So that's honestly been really positive. So if you guys are kind of hesitant on doing that, I do encourage you to reach out to people on your social media community, whether it be the hiking community or the beer community or the foodie community or the shopping community or fitness community, tech community, whatever community you're in. Reach out to those people and meet up with them because it just might surprise you the reaction you'll get. And as much positivity as I've been sharing with everyone, there has been some people that haven't responded or have responded and said they're unable to podcast with us or communicate with us for whatever reasons. But just know that if you do reach out, there will be some of that rejection and just non-responsive, but don't let that discourage you. Because if you're passionate about what you're doing and put your mind to it, it'll come with time. And that's definitely one thing we're learning. It takes time, so keep pushing through it and you'll get there. Kind of like when you're hiking up a really long hill. It takes time, but you get there, and in the end, it feels amazing.
Yeah, the reward in the end is worth the struggle on the way to get there. So with the podcast, we're going to be releasing episodes every Saturday. So we'll be on a weekly schedule now. So we're working to keep that consistent and provide some great content for our listeners on a regular basis. And if you do want to help support the podcast in any way, you can head on over to hikingthroughlife.net/podcast, and there is a support the podcast icon in the top right corner, and all that really does is brings you to a page where you can contribute a monthly contribution to the podcast, and it would mean a lot to us, because there is some work that does go into these podcasts, whether it's the editing or the time taken for the interviews, the promoting of the podcast on our social media sites, and all that. So we want to continue to keep delivering you guys content, and we will. And we would just be grateful if you guys, if you felt inclined to do so, head on over to support the podcast. There are other ways on our website. If you scroll down to the bottom of our page, there's ways that you can support us by other means. You can support us by sharing, and getting the word out about this podcast or about our website. and just promoting it either through your social media, through word of mouth. There's ways in which you can also, if you feel inclined, donate to us if you're finding any value in what we do. There's also ways that you can support us by shopping on Amazon. There is a link that is a affiliate link of ours where Amazon gives us a certain percentage of sales at no cost to you if you just go through our link to shop on Amazon. And really, it's just a kind of a thank you from Amazon for us kind of directing some traffic to them. So if you already shop on Amazon, it's easy and it's no cost to you. You just shop through our link, and you can find all of these ways at hikingthroughlife.net/support. And the most recent way that you guys can support us is by going and shopping for some Hiking Through Life merch on our shop page. So if you go over to hikingthroughlife.net/shop, we got these awesome Hiking Through Life logo Nalgene water bottles. They're durable. They hold 32 ounces of water with measurements on there, so they're very easy to bring on a camping trip and measure out your water if you need certain water for cooking. They're also orange, so you probably won't lose them on your camping trip. They're easy to find. And they're very durable, so you can use them for whatever, going to the gym, going for a hike, any outdoor adventure.
Or just getting in your water every day, because I think a lot of people don't drink enough water every day. So hydrate with a Hiking Through Life bottle.
Yeah, and it's a great way for us to make an impact on the environment too by using a reusable bottle versus purchasing bottled water. And so we also have some t-shirts on our site too, and those are kind of inspired by the saying on our homepage of "Where will your journey take you?" And so we have these hiking inspired t-shirts with a photo of a boot print and a tree, kind of symbolizing your journey is kind of taking you out into the woods. So they're super soft, super comfortable shirts, and they come in 4 colors, a variety of sizes. So go check them out at hikingthroughlife.net/shop. But really, the biggest way that you can support us is just subscribing to this podcast and getting the word out about this podcast. We love doing this podcast. We love at least hoping that it inspires others, and we just love sharing stories. So go out and share this podcast if you enjoy listening to it. That's the biggest thing that we really care about is just sharing the word of others, sharing just what we're doing. And it's been an awesome journey, and we can't wait to continue down this journey. As this podcast keeps growing, we try over here at Hiking Through Life to just make it better and better for our listeners. So part of that is upgrading some of our equipment and just learning some more skills. So something recently that we've done is purchased a new microphone. So hopefully this will increase the listening quality of our podcasts and make it more enjoyable for our listeners. We also started recently doing some Skype interviews, making it more convenient for our guests and allowing, I guess, a wider range of guests to be able to participate in our podcasts and share their stories. And so guests don't have to necessarily be limited to being local. And we're excited we're excited to keep on this journey and keep sharing these awesome stories and share them in the best quality that we can share them in. So, one of the things I've been doing recently too is kind of just learning from scratch how to make good quality podcasts. And part of that comes into the post-production efforts. So that's been a fun little journey. Me being a perfectionist, it's become a little time consuming in the beginning, especially with maybe some poor audio recordings in the beginning, just because we didn't have a very good microphone setup or anything. Had some quality issues just in the original raw recordings. So I mean that's really hard to clean up. Just learning different techniques and stuff. So I'm really having fun doing this, and having fun learning, and hopefully we'll have some great quality listening quality going forward for all of these podcasts. So just want to thank everyone for their love and just their continued listening, and it means a lot. Our podcast is growing and growing by the day, and it's been awesome just to see that growth and to see that people are enjoying what we're putting out there. So it's been a fun journey, and we are excited to just continue down this podcasting journey.
You've been listening to the Hiking Through Life podcast. Peace, love, and hike through life.